up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Well, it's Saturday. I've been up way too early going through ICT vids. It's about 12:30, and I should go eat some lunch, but ah, can't stop myself. I gotta practice. I've gone through most of his 2022 mentorship stuff, and then now I'm doing the core stuff. So I've just finished the first things. That's basically covering like um, elements to a trade setup. So, expansion, daily range structure, you know, things to focus on right now. So I want to you know, go through and do some back testing on all of that. And I'll be doing that for quite some time because I can foresee that this is what I've been looking for to find that proper understanding so I know exactly what I'm doing. Anyway, if that sounds like a good time, so basically it's gonna be price action, it's gonna be ICT specific style stuff, and just me kind of like digging further into my understanding of how and why price moves into specific locations, things like that. Yeah, if that sounds like a good time, drop a like, subscribe. Please drop a comment. Let me know how things are going for you. Kitty wants all the attention. So if you see me lean down like this, because I'm giving Kitty a little rub rub. All right, cool. If that sounds like a good time, let's get it started. I'm gonna make myself tiny. All right, so I figured we could use Ethereum today for all of this. And right now I've got her on the daily. Actually, let me grab my glasses because we all know I'm kind of blind. So it should be right over here. Yep. Get to see more of me. Huh. Why do I always lose my glasses, y'all? Always. What? Okay. All right, guys. It was hiding. It's hiding in a very specific spot, but let's plop it on and let's get with the going where the going gets good. All right, so I'm probably not going to be doing a ton of like potential entry stuff, but I'm trying to focus on like what I need to be paying attention to. So, you know, we'll hit the replay button just because we want to like fight with stuff. And I'm going to go with price that hasn't been so freaking boring, right? So we're going to like, pyong, 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 pyong. We're going to stick with this general vicinity. So let's like close our eyes and do our thing and click. Oh, so we've landed in what is essentially a free fall. Okay, let's zoom in on that. So first things first. All right, so according to ICT, we need to be able to see at least 12 months back, which we can. So it's obviously in a downtrend. Since we're in this big drop, like I'm basically gonna be like looking for areas where they could like take price out, right? So we're already here. We're in this general vicinity where price kind of like stopped and stalled. We've got all of this juiciness down here, this imbalance here. We haven't taken this guy out here. So just gonna plot that across time like that. And then we're just gonna plop into the 4 hour. So just looking at context, right? So we've been dropping quite juicily for a bit, right? So, uh, and we have what is essentially a fair value gap or imbalance right here. Here's a tiny one right here between that low and that high. Okay. Now we need to be able to see at least 3 months of this awesomeness, which we most definitely can see in this general vicinity. And let me go back to the 1 day actually, because I want to kind of spec out. So if that's where we're going, that's like the potential high if we were to come back and rebalance that we could be aiming for. So I drop that there just so I have it handy. And I'm gonna change the color of these guys so they're more when I started this I was using red for those. Let's use red for those more daily levels, right? So let's look at the 4 hour, right? And man, that's a pretty rough view. When was this? June? We're just tumbling down the stairs like it was going out of style. Oh man. Anyway, all right. And so in terms of areas that we could get back to on a 4 hour, we have this as a target, this fair value gap area right here. Let's just map that out. Got that little guy. Looks like we wicked away from it. We haven't touched it, so little tiny guy. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right. So, all right. So things that I've been learning, right? So everything starts with consolidation, and then some sort of expansion, and then it decides if it wants to reverse or retrace for a continuation. So retrace with like another, consolidation. So we're obviously in some sort of consolidation. So we are between the 13th and the 14th. Let's take a look at what price was doing during this time frame. So on the 13th, I'm going to grab my little thing so I can see. Actually, I'm just gonna plot them like this, right? So I want to know where midnight was. At this candle right here is midnight. So we're gonna plot that guy, and I'm just gonna give that like a little gray color. And then where is 8:30? Let's drop to 30 minutes so we can see 8:30. So that's 8:30. Okay. So the 13th opened with this price and we started dropping at 8:30 until we hit 8:30, and then I guess we just consolidated. Wow, that is boring. That is mad boring on that day. There are moments when I feel like, why am I trying to trade crypto? Because this is what it looks like. So price opened here, rallied a little bit above, and then dropped, and then at 8:30, um, well, somewhere between 8:30, like at 7, price dropped, rallied to get back to 8:30, and then we're just consolidating. Man, that sucks. In terms of like what we can do. You know what? Let's push price forward to the 14th because we are at about 7:45, and in terms of action, not a lot of it. Like really not a lot of it. We're sitting in this range. I guess, I mean, if you want to take a look at the range, technically, price has been sitting in a premium, not going anywhere. And we want it to come down, and now it's down to a discount in this tiny, tiny, tiny 15-minute range. We could plot back out to, and actually, let's go out to the daily just to kind of get a feel for, because we're in this weird in between space, and that's, the move is already in progress, and maybe we should push this forward one day. All right. So, indecision day. Let's see what was happening inside of this candle. All right, let's go back into the 1 hour. All right, looks like, well, it continued like that, didn't it? It's not a lot of excitement going on here, but let's move these. So we're into the 14th. Let's see. We're in the 1 hour, so let's do 8:30, 30 minutes. Let's grab 8:30 right there. Let's grab midnight right there. Okay, that's a little bit better, but we're still sideways. It's still inside this giant range for the last 2 days. Technically, from a ranging perspective, I mean, we'd have to be trading this like on the 1 minute or something. And now it looks like something. So let's get down It's 15 minutes. Is that what that looks like? Okay, so that's a little better. Sorry, sometimes I can't see. All right, so the day started and we trailed up, rolled back down to 8:30, trailed up, and then continued back down again. Now, if we're considering it from a range perspective, I'm gonna use the Gambacks for this. We've been hanging out in this general vicinity of a range. Let me get as many touches. Yeah, something like that. Right? And these are some range deviations, whatever. So if we're looking at how we could have traded this, right? So from my perspective, I'm looking for it to run out highs or head back into liquidity, right? So the high from the day before was here. They traded and ate all this liquidity here. Once, we opened up, and then about 3:45 we ran that out. And then I'm wondering, this is at like noon, okay? So then don't know that it gave us anything to trade per the model, which is like this gave us something nice over here. This sort of gave us something, and that was at 3:45. I wouldn't have been awake for that. you know? This I would have been awake for, but this is why sometimes I don't like looking at crypto because it can be so annoyingly boring. But let's take a look at the model. Like, let's ding this back. Let's ding this to about here and see if we got something. Let's say I was awake during the Asian session. And I think their kill zone is between what, like 3 and 5 a.m., right? Time wise. So let's say I was awake between 3 and about 5 a.m., this 2 hour time frame here. Let's make that orange, right? This is the little kill zone for Asia. So if I'd seen this liquidity run right here, ate all of that, ate this imbalance, came and ate this guy, right? Fair value gaps all traded back up into. Now, if I was looking at this from a shorting perspective, I'm in a range. We've traded away from equilibrium. We had this break right here. So potential entry areas would be right here at this order block, right? So if I were to draw this out in time, let's do that. And you haven't seen me do this for a while. So I'm like my supply order block. There's the imbalance inside of it. So I'm thinking to myself, here's this order. Maybe I'll set my thing at the base of this imbalance because why the heck not if they're going to trade back up into it, right? Now let's say we did that. They did. Oh, let me as a supply area, should that be red or green? Let's make it orange on the inside. Okay. So they traded back up into this thing. And I'm looking for shorts because I'm in a range. So I'm going to drop down into the 5 minutes. And the other thing that I'm going to do is because I'm looking for shorts, let's also draw our Fibby because I want to see if we're in like an optimal trade area as well, just from a standard deviations perspective. And this where's the zero? So the base is right there. From the base of that to that. So from this high to this low, coming back into it, we're well into the OTE right now. Actually, my preference is like right in the middle here. We also have this, and let's make that like a light blue or something. Let's take that off. I don't like that. So we're in this, and technically from a order block perspective, that's that whole set of green candles right there. Then my thought for an entry would have been at the base of this candle, right? Which is just above 0.18. Okay, so price to just come back into this order block area. What am I looking for? We've seen liquidity eaten here. And what I'm going to look for is like a shift for me to confirm that I want to come in on this, right? So we've come back into our space. We're in our OTE. I'm going to just put order block on that, right? And we're going to give it the same shade of that light blue, whatever. And then we're going to, you know, I'm just going to make a quick note and then get rid of all of this other stuff, right? So we have OTE plus OB plus liquidity hunt, can't spell, just to make the area kind of nice and strong, right? Like this general vicinity right here. And we're at the top of the range. Plus top, plus premium. We're in a premium zone. Perfect. And then the other thing that you can check as well is you could go out to like say the daily, and you can also check for a premium zone. I don't know that the fib would be here, and we'd definitely be in a discount zone if we did that. So let's go back down to like the 5 minute, right? So now we've got all this liquidity eaten, and I'm gonna mark this out because I plan to screenshot this from my journal. So let's just call that buy side liquidity. That's been run. Let's center this. So buy side liquidity's been taken there. Imbalance taken. So that's the the order block. So that's beautiful. So now I'm looking for a shift for an entry. So let's price continue. And all I'm looking for now is a market shift, right? And I could have set a limit order here, but I'm gonna be a lot more crazy. Let me go down to the 1 minute. Ah, dang it, guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to, I keep forgetting we can't go all the way back there. So my bad. Let's go back with the replay. And I think we're at that candle, and let's go back into the 15 minute, and let's roll back into this general vicinity so we can do our thing. And we were here. Okay, sorry about that. I took a lot of the mystery out of that. My bad. All right, so let's go back. The lowest we can trade this is on the 5 minute. Okay, so now we've got our liquidity run. We've got this intermediary high that's formed. We're expecting them to come back in and eat some of this. There's this order block right here. So I am going to look for a shorting opportunity because I'm from this order block. Technically, I could also go from here, base of that, but I'm going to go from this order block right here to see if I get that. So I'm going to set 2 limit orders, right? And we'll see how they play out with my stop right above that liquidity hunt right there, and my aiming for this imbalance down here. Like so, technically I should aim for something. We're in this range, so in terms of the range, we're in this smaller range. Let me get rid of that. If we were to use the fib from this high to this low, right there. Yeah, so then we would be just below equilibrium, and we'd be aiming for them to take out these lows and eat up this stuff right here. There's also this potential, I don't know if they're going to go that low, but I'll take this smaller trade just to see if it works, right? I'm beginning low hanging fruit. So I could set an order block at this place here, and then the other one could be at the close of this, the open of that candle. Same scenario of there, a little less gain, but right there. And let's see if we get that. So let's move that forward, coming back up. Okay, we got this order and that order, so we're both in. So let's see how that plays out. We're at equilibrium. Okay. So far, short-term high right there. Okay, we broke through equilibrium, coming back down. Okay. Yes, beautiful. So those two orders would have been filled and we would have gotten that. Not bad. Now the question, so now that we're in a range and we've gotten this, we can look for another like short-term high to be taken. So now let's see. They come down some more and then we see the first green candle. So all of this is, I guess, what's considered a liquidity void, and they could come back and take it. They could take out this high and then this high as they come back up in the range, right? So I'm already done. We're done and dusted on this one, right? So we got two of those, beautiful setup. Now, if they're gonna come back up, I'm gonna be thinking, I want them to eat some liquidity, create the structure, and we can enter it for a long. Now, my assumption here, now I made a big assumption without the market shift, and technically we did have a shift right here, right? It shifted down, came back up, gave us what we wanted, and then we got a nice little move. Not bad, right? Okay, I dig it. Okay, so now I'm unconcerned. I want to see what they do when they come back down here. In terms of this general vicinity, they could come and eat this, tap it, and then continue back up. I'm being conservative because I'm a newbie. So let's see if they create something for us to play with. Okay, so now we have a, I don't know if it's an intermediary. It's not. Okay, so a short-term low, all right, forming there. They've come back up. So technically we have a shift here and they've come and eat this liquidity. It's a beautiful green candle. This is a shift. So let's see if it creates the correct stuff for us. So we were looking for them to sweep. Now, this is a scenario where there buy stops under here. So did they take it? No. So, all right. So we have an area where we could have, where a break here, and this created a fair value gap between this candle and that candle. All right. I don't know if I'm willing to take this because I'm thinking a short's the best play. So, and if it's going to continue on down, there's lots of fun stuff for it to chomp on down here, right? As a target, right? So we're between midday and 8:30. So trades we could have taken before all that stuff. So now we're in a discount. We're in the discount zone. So I'm looking for opportunities to trade it back up in the range, right? So let's see, do we get those? Like, so we get a shift above these highs with the imbalance, right? I want to see either this is the low that just got formed, right? So I'd like to see them eat this first for me to, wanna go back up with it. I don't know if they do, but let's find out. Because that's the first low, right? Like here, when when this came and ate all of that, then we consolidated, ate some more, consolidated, and then I run up, it ate all of that. So it's like three taps before 1, 2, 3 before it went down. So we're just at 1 right here, right? So we're just letting that form. Okay. The other thing to look for is like really clean levels. Like this, I'm gonna annotate that. Like this area right here, they're like relatively like equal highs, right? Equal highs. They're relative. It doesn't have to be perfectly equal, but that's a general vicinity. So you know they're gonna come back and eat that up, right? They've just been sitting around letting that form. Right? And then it made a short-term high here. And then I'm waiting for that to get busted up. Boom, boom. short-term high, intermediate high, short-term high. We know it's going to continue down because we've buttressed these two things together to make like a little bit of a pyramid looking thing, whatever. Anyway, so I'm waiting for them to eat that, and they come down into this. And I mean, you could have, it's a range, right? So you could have traded down to this range, but I'm being conservative, right? So now they've eaten this. Now I'm looking for a shift. So let's continue. And we're just watching. We're going to be patient. We're just watching price. They're coming down to eat some more of this. Okay, let's see. Now I need 4 candles for me to believe this is heading in the opposite direction. Oh, look, beautiful. So they're coming off of this sell side liquidity. I like that. So we've eaten all of this from this break right here. So we have this order block. Ooh. Right. So that's the order block. I don't know if that's perfectly level. Probably isn't, something like that. Approximation, right? So here's this order block down here from this shift. So there's a potential for them to run into some, let's back out and back out here. So we had a huge shift, retrace back up, and now we've shifted in the opposite direction. So the question is, are they going to respect this? They've eaten all the liquidity here and they're about to take out this. There's also this space. So that would be a bigger shift, but we're looking at this from the 5-minute, right? So let's see, so maybe in terms of we should be aiming for the base of this, more liquidity, take a bigger hit. That would have been nice. But then we would have had to sit through this drawdown. Technically, from a stop loss perspective, like once, what do you see? So from your entry, once price moves 50% to your take profit, let's say my take profit's down here, 50%, let's get a ruler. So from entry, about 50%, approximation about here, you can move your stop loss into break even. And then once it's at like 75%, then you move it, to about 25% inside of here, something like that. Anyway, so if we did that and we aimed for all of these imbalances in this range, I'm being tight with the range too. I could have been a little bit more juicy with the range. But here's like some sell side stuff that they can come and eat. So let's mark this out. And let's plot this way. And this is all before 8:30. So nice, easy, quick hits between 4:30 in the morning. The kill zone's done, so we got that. And then they gave us same entry, so continue on down. So we opened, we broke down Judas swing, rallied back up, and then I don't know, do we consider this the Judas swing? That's the thing that I'm still working through, right? The Judas swing. Anyway, so prices, oh, look at it. Just tapped it like a lover right there. Just perfectly tapped it. Look at that. Let me just change the color on that. And let's make that a green order block, right? Or maybe not green, maybe like blue. Let's say blue. Okay, so blue order block down there, light blue up there. So they came and they tapped it. So I'm expecting a return, but I need to see some stuff. So like if it's gonna turn around, like up here, like 1, 2, 3, fourth candle to make this, then it's gonna continue on down. 1, 2, 3, I need this is like relatively equal lows, so I don't know if that one fits. But 1, 2, 3, 4 candles so far telling me that's probably going to turn around. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It did, but short swing, and we're expecting it to go lower anyway. If we're in an area where we feel like it's going to continue back up, I still think like it's going to come down and eat this. What do you guys think? I have no clue personally, so let's see. So far we've got, let's drop our stamp of approval on these two Let's make it smaller. No, I don't want to turn it around. I just want to make it smaller. What? No. What is that entry right there? Order block. Got it. This thing. I'll make it tiny. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna give up. One day I'm gonna do this like a boss. Just need to move it, thanks. Okay, doesn't need to be perfect. Oh, that one, haha. Tiny, turn. Tiny, okay. All right, so we're back in this range. We're here and we've hit this bullish order block, right? And I think it hasn't been used, this hasn't been messed with yet. So let's reevaluate where we are in the optimal trade area, right? So cool. So let's take a look from this on this 5 minutes. From this range to this high, we've just come into what I considered my OTE is the middle of this 0.7 and 0.8. So we're beautifully in this space. Now I need to see some sort of shift, right, in the paradigm. For me to believe it's doing it with some gusto. So understanding that, I am going to, and this is with the assumption that maybe I think it wants to come back. Did we leave anything juicy? So we ate all of that. So let's see. You know, so far we've been going down. We're in the range. I think it's going to continue ranging, maybe. So I need to see some sort of shift. I think the shift would be more visible in like the 1 minute or so. But we work with what we got. So let's look at the 15 minute just for funsies. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty bullish on the 15 minutes. Let's go back to our 5 minute for this and let's see if we can see something on the 5 minute. All right. So per the 4 candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's trying to tell me potentially it's going back down. This is equal. So that doesn't make me feel super happy. So still no entry. And here we have this order block, and I'm just going to take that off just so we can see. Oops, Control Z, not that. Just take the fib off since I want to confirm where we were in the OTE. And just to make sure, oh, we're in the discount zone for this. Boom, boom. To go back up. Beautiful. All right, so we're discounted. So I'm going to grab this guy, copy, paste. Gonna get another one. So we're in this general vicinity. So we're in OTE. We have this order block. Liquidity hunt we haven't seen yet. We saw that hunted. I'm waiting for this to be hunted. So in the meantime, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to set this to discount zone. If we're going to go back up and let's see. All right. So price came back down. Now, this would be the new order block I would care about, right? And if we're going from this swing high to this swing low from a fib perspective, then we would take it from there to there, and our OTE entry would be right about in the middle of here. So let's see if we get something like that, right? All right, we came in. All right. Strong green candles. That's why we're waiting because, oh, nice. So I bet somewhere in the middle of this beautiful area on the lower time zones, 4, 3, 2, 1, we probably would have seen what we needed because we got the shift here. We have what is essentially a shift from this space right here. That's a break. Came back down into it. And I'm sure there was something juicy in here. So maybe we're continuing on up. And looks like, yep. Okay. Now here's a beautiful shift. If I'm right, then from a continuation perspective, this order block is probably not going to come back down to eat this one. What do you guys think? Huh? Yeah? No? Yes? No? Let's see. So do you come back down? So from an entry perspective, for this piece, I'm setting my sights on the middle of this thing. My stop loss is going to be right there, and I'm going to write it to the top of this. And actually, I'm going to take a look. I'm aiming for above that. Yeah, so I'm going to aim for the top of this thing, right? There's also stop losses over here. I'm just going to tag that way. And then I'm going to also note this fair value gap up here. All right. And let's just plop that in there. Beautiful. So targets, right? So things that I would be targeting in this general vicinity. So if, let's say I'm targeting this guy right there, that's a wonder, that's a lot, right? So given that we're trading in this range, I probably wouldn't reach for that just yet until I see like a proper break above this thing. So I'm going to go for this portion of the range. It's 1 to 7. This imbalance has already been, yeah, beautiful. So my options here. So I'm going to go for the top of the range just to be conservative, right? Okay, from this area. So let's see, do we get an entry from the middle? We do not. Okay. So in this case, the top of the imbalance, or just a little bit into it, was the better option. I was looking for about the middle. Yeah, so I wouldn't have gotten it. So if I look to the left, it looks like there's this order block right here. So yeah, I wouldn't have done that. The other option would have been, since this candle, let's zoom in on that puppy. Let's zoom in on, so this, since this candle formed this, then I could have set my entry at the wick of that, and then, stop loss above that, and then let it ride, something like that. So let's see. Let's make sure we get that out. Oh, not quite stopped out, but pretty close. Let's see. So, fun fact, my middle entry would have been fine. Look at that. So in the middle of that thing with my stop loss below that wick original. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 to continue on up. What? That's just mean. Okay, might get stopped out. I don't know. Oop, sorry about that. So we're back to where we started. Coming down. Okay, so what did I say? Like 1 to 2 hits, 3 hits to continue on up. Like this guy had 1, 2 liquidity hunt, right? Like this guy that we came close, that ate that. I'm in, still in, biting my nails, obviously. Like biting them hard. Because I mean, yay. So basically, areas where we could have, from this entry, right here, would have been like a first place to take some off. What would that move have looked like? Right there. That would have been a 1 to 3, right? Beautiful. And then again, right here, 1 to 4. And then at the top of the range, which is what I'm looking for, is up there. So we had to sit through all of this meanness right here. Now, did they give us a second separate opportunity? Not really. Maybe in the 1 minute. I don't know. But so far, we haven't been stopped out with what we originally wanted. So let's continue. So we need to see it break above. Look at this. Relatively equal highs right here that's formed. I'm gonna put that, so I don't like that one. Da, 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 da. So that's going to be some more buy-side liquidity that they're wanting to eat because it's way too clean. It's so clean. They're going to eat that. They have to eat that. There's also this cleanness down here too. Um, something I need to remember to look for. So I'm bullish. Yes, they've just taken it. All right. Let's see. Now, an area they could potentially come back down to is about right here. So I'm kind of expecting that for them to tap it, but I'm expecting them to not going in lower than that now that we've finally moved away from this range. I want them to come up here, and now we're in a premium. So let's see. Oh, beautiful. Now, is there a better way to have traded that, like from an entry perspective, like more unique? Like this, the top of that candle, look at that precision. Boom. Two of them. Boom, boom. Beautiful. Now this is a relative, I'm gonna note this area right here. Relative equal lows again. So equal lows, let's pop that there. So that would have worked like gangbusters. How long would that have taken from our misbegotten entry to here? 2 hours and 5 minutes. Not bad. If I was looking for something less, then it would have been pretty relatively quick, right? Because we didn't get our entry until down here. So let me be pretty clear about when we actually got what we wanted, which is about here. Middle, right in the middle, right there. So we got in on that candle. And from this candle to when they ate, they didn't eat that one. So that would have been concerning. So that's an hour and a half. Yeah, still 2 hours, 5 minutes approximately. Interesting. All right, not bad. Small moves, but that would have been a 5.46% move with a small stop loss. And then once this, that would have hurt right there. This move, that move sucks. But it came and tapped it again and then continued back up. This shift right here, because once we came, we tapped, continue back up. I'm just looking for them to eat this for an entry to continue on up, because that's my belief is that it's going to continue back up in the range. So that's part of what was, swaying that. The fact that we were inside of, well, technically we're inside of, let me move this. We're in a discount that we're basically at equilibrium. And actually, I'm sorry, I was looking at this range, honestly. So from this low, that's what started this swing, to this high, because I don't really know anything about this yet, right? So from here, we hadn't gotten where we needed to go. Then it created another high, and then we're supposed to like adjust up to match, like so. Then we were below the 0.5 and in a discount at the 0.6. So from an OTE, it's somewhere between 0.6, 0.7. I like it in between 0.8 for an actual entry, but what do I know? So that would have worked, but we would have had to sit through a lot of pain on that one. So I'm going to put a stamp of approval on it anyway. Whoopsie, round in a circle. Not that. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. And let's grab that one and plop down that one. So that's not bad. Like if you're working within the range, you're looking for something very specific. The other option is, we were looking for, um, and I'm gonna pause the vid here for a hot second. All right, guys, sorry about that. I had to pause for a hot second. Hope that wasn't too disorienting. Okay, but I'm gonna have to bring this one to a close, but it's very interesting, right? Tapping out the equal highs and the equal lows for, now that we've hit here, I'm feeling like, we've gotten the range. Now we need to look for shorting opportunities because we're just driving, the range is driving us. Um, I'm really quite curious about how we worked towards, so this is like Tuesday, June, blah, blah, blah. So I was just wondering, the day started here. So the previous day's high was here, and they've quite handily told it to go kick rocks. And the lows down here, so they haven't violated those yet. So they need to take out this guy before um they do anything. And it looks like, once we figure out what the next day's highs and lows are, then we can like figure out the next round of trading. But this actually did work out as expected from a thing. The only thing I was expecting was the liquidity, and they did eat the liquidity, right? But higher up. So that part, that part can be a bit strange for me, but this, look how spot on for that order block, right? Unless that's a little skewed. Is it a little skewed? I can't tell. Hold on, let's, not quite. Actually, there's two of them. Like this whole thing is an order block. So if I was being conservative, as I should be, this order block should have been the one I used. Because you don't want to use the lowest one. You want to use either the top one or the middle. This is being really conservative. This one up here for the order block that I picked at the top, where did I set it? Sorry, it was from all the way over here, and that was based off of the the very base of this guy, which worked out really well. And I could have picked that guy, but this one is the conservative one. This would have been too much, right in the middle, but this one is more guaranteed. So sometimes I don't quite figure out on the lower time frames. So this would probably look different on a 15 minutes. Let's pop back up. Yeah. Yeah. So on the 15-minute, the top of this order block would have been perfect. Actually, the base of the body would have been perfect too. You know, I think you're supposed to do like the open, but let's see, on the 10-minute would be two candles. So then, you know, the close of this candle, that would have been too low. They did wick down. Um, but on the 15 and the 5, you can see all three. One candle here, and then on the 5-minute, you can see the three candles that make up that um that order block right there. So the close, close of that guy is the close. Why is that thing always gone? Uh, right. So this the close of this candle was 11:52.99, and so the high. Let's see, what is this price? 11:57.19. So what are we looking at the top of that? So the open was 11:52.99, and the close was 11. Oh, the high was 11:50. The open was 11:57.47. Sorry, I'm just trying to get these numbers just right. So this is the open of that candle, and that would have been a good place to set a limit order with a stop loss below this low here. Um, once they'd eaten all this liquidity. Anyway, this is fun. I am very excited to understand how this works. And, honestly, we were probably sitting in, yeah, like just this giant range. And we were at like the midpoint of that. So it hadn't really been moving anywhere. And this is consolidation. So I expect there's probably going to be a bigger move, either down to or up, depending on if there's some sort of I have this plotted as the next like area of interest after this wick right here. They could try and get this imbalance up here and this little guy right here. Anyway, that was fun, I think. Not bad. The whole concept of getting an entry is nice. I like the opportunities it gave me, and I like that ICT taught me that, once we've done this big run and we've got multiples, it might wick down and tap it, but it shouldn't go any lower. So that was why I chose that on that premise. It's very interesting. All right, guys, it is Saturday. I'm gonna stop being a total nerd because I've been doing this since, oh my goodness, six. It's 1:24. But I'm so hungry for knowledge and for understanding how this all works. But you see how they like to rebalance price? And what I'm understanding is that when they like rebalance it, like they did here, they have to trade back up into it again to continue to make it properly balanced and then continue dropping. And that's kind of where the retracements come from. But understanding like this consolidation period, and then it has to have some sort of move, which is what this is. And then we had a small consolidation sort of with a shift, and then move back down into this order block, into this order block over here. What it didn't give me was that stop hunt, but it did. It hunted all of this, all of that, and then it gave me this big run. I wouldn't have entered here because I wouldn't have known how. I'm, given the time frame, I can't drop down to the 1 minute to see everything. So there's probably beautiful entry options in here on the 1 minute, but I can't see it because trading view limitations. Anyway, we are almost to an hour. These are the types of entries that I'm looking for. Whoops. See? And having done this, I am going to take my handy dandy screenshot and with my notes, and I'm going to add a couple more annotations here. So I'm just going to put this right there, and we're going to just plop a break right there. Just going to pull it over just for funsies. So a nice shift beautifully there. And then a similar scenario over here just for my journal. So we had this area here. Technically, I'm going to use this as the shift. Technically, it's higher up here, but let's say this general vicinity is the shift. And let's just plop a break right there. And that's not beautiful. Okay. So we had a break, and from my mind, from this pause, this is the real shift right here. So let me plop it here. And I could be wrong, and let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong on that one. And let's make that smaller so we can actually see things. And let's give this a bit of a dashed line, and let's not make it so freaking heavy, yeah? Single. All right. So we have that, and then let's do a similar scenario to this thing. And let's make that smaller, and let's save this for my notes, okay? So areas of interest, liquidity void down here. Yep. Technically the void is, since it's all green candles, I'm learning it's everything from this red candle to this red candle is the void. Fascinating. So I expect them to come back down to take that at some point. Doesn't have to be today, but I just want to type that out. that, and let's put it in the center of the bottom of that. Okay. So I just want to be able to recognize these areas at the top of that. Yeah. So they came in to some of the void, but they haven't taken all of it yet. So more to come on that. So let's get myself a save my chart image here, and that'll be it. I will make myself big again. I am big. Okay, I hope you're all progressing and learning. I know I am. I have a dream. I have a dream. I realize I'm looking off to the side because my OB screen is to the side. So let me plop it in the middle so I can I have a dream. Anyway, so if you have a dream and you have plans for things, then freaking put the work in to get there. Like you see me out here, I'm putting the work in. It's Saturday. I should be chilling. But guess what? Chilling doesn't get me where I need to be. Okay? Now I'm gonna go find some Korean barbecue and put it in my mouth because I'm hungry. Anyway, so let me know your thoughts. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you feel like it. And hey, enjoy the weekend. Sun is out, it's beautiful. Mwah. Happy hunting, trade safely. Shakira out.